Good morning, class. It is Thursday. Go grab your math journal, your math whiteboard, and your book, and join me back here. Let's warm up with your whiteboards, and I would like for you to write down your Roman numerals 1 to 10. Don't freak out, just try it. See how many you can remember. Go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you haven't tried to write out the first 10 Roman numerals, you need to pause the video and try before you come see me. Pause the video. Okay, number 1 is I. Hope you remembered that. Do you remember what 5 was? I can hear Willa saying, it's a V. That's right. And number 10 is what letter, Jaden? Yes, it's an X. That's right. Now, all those numbers in between. How did I make 2? I added I. 1 plus 1 is 2. How about 3? 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Nice. How about 4? I can't use more than 3 I's. Help me out, Esther. Oh, yes. 5 minus 1, and I show subtraction by putting the smaller number before the larger number. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Let's try 6. How did I make 6, Brody? If putting a smaller number before the larger number is subtraction, Brody says, put it after the 5. Yeah. 5 plus 1 is 6. So I put the I after the 5. How about 7? Caden? V plus I plus I. 5 plus 1 plus 1 is 7. How about 8, Wyatt? 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. I have one more. Lexi, help me out. How do I make 9? She says take 10. Do I add or subtract 1 to make 9? Subtract 1. How do I show subtracting 1 though, Lex? Put it before the X. Just like I put this before the V to make 4. How'd you do? Are you good at it yet? Probably not. We just learned it and that's okay. Erase your boards. Do it one more time. Write out your Roman numerals one more time. Let's see if you can remember all 10 now. Pause the video. All right, take a look at Mrs. Huff's board and compare your own board. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you have IV. 5, 6 is VI. 7, 8, 9. Make sure you have IX. 10. Great job. Something else we need to review before we get to today's lesson is turning a fraction into a percent. On your whiteboard, write down what the percent is when I say 1/4. In other words, if I said I drank 1/4 of the milk carton, it's a lot of milk. What percent of the milk carton did I drink? Well, remember that we can use our quarters to help us with this. 1/4 is worth 25 cents. So 1/4 would be 25%. On your whiteboard, write down what 1/2 is. Now write what 3/4 is as a percent. Now write down what 4/4 is as a percent. 3, 2, 1. Put your markers down and let's check it. If 1/4 was 25%, because 1/4 of a quarter is 25 cents, half a quarter is 50 cents, so half would be 50%. 3/4 would be 75%, and 4/4 would be all of it. 4 of 4 is all, so that's 100%. Most of you have these memorized pretty well by now, but there's some you may not have memorized yet, and those are the ones that are over 10. Erase your boards. You are supposed to be memorizing anything that is over 10 as a percent. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, and so on. Do you remember what 1/10 is equal to as a percent? Hopefully you have this memorized. It's 10%. What about 2/10? Write that on your whiteboard. 2/10 is 20%. Now try 3/10 and 4/10. 3/10 would be 30%, and 4/10 would be 40%. And so on, all the way up to 10/10, which would be the same as 4/4, 100%. Now, if you don't have those memorized, you need to go back and memorize them. You can use page 222 of your book, your textbook, page 222. That lists all of them and has pictures. But we also did a page in our journal about percents. So if you can find the page in your journal about fractions and percents, that will also have all of these that you need to memorize. Be practicing those every day until they're solid. Today's lesson is very similar to yesterday's. It's subtracting decimals. Go to the page you used yesterday that said adding and subtracting decimals. Whatever that page was, we're going to draw a line and do subtracting decimals now. So this isn't going to take us very long, but let's set it up like we did yesterday. 6 57/100 minus 1 3/10. Write it horizontally first. Just like yesterday, we're going to line up our decimals. 6 is in the ones place, so it goes here. 5 is in the tenths place, so it goes here. And 7 is in the hundredths place, so it goes here. I'm subtracting, not adding this time. 1 goes in the ones place, right under the 6. 3 goes in the tenths place, right under the 5. And now I can subtract, except like yesterday, something is really bugging us here. There's this gap. So like yesterday, we fill it in with a 0. Now this looks familiar. Let's try it. 7 minus 0 is 7. 5 minus 3 is 2. 6 minus 1 is 5. And bring down our decimal. My answer is 5 27/100. Not dollars. This is not talking about money. Let's try another one. Let's do this one on your whiteboards. Copy this one down on your whiteboard. 26 45/100 minus 12 14/100. Do I have any gaps this time? No, I don't have to fill in any zeros. So let's just subtract. 5 minus 4, you do it on your own and then check back. Pause your video. Does yours match mine? 14 31/100. If not, go back and make sure you copied it correctly and you subtracted correctly. Let's try another one. This one is 5 46/100 minus 2 3/10. I'm going to let you pause the video and see if you can solve it. Don't forget to fill in your zeros. Okay, how does your answer compare with mine? I filled in my 0 right here, and then I subtracted and it equaled 3 16/100. How are you doing? I think this is probably pretty easy for most of you, for all of you. If you need more help, remember you can Zoom me at any time, but for today you're going to be doing lesson 117. And like yesterday, I did not give you all 25 problems, so pay attention to your assignment on your agenda. You're only doing numbers 6 through 22 today. You get to skip the first 5 and the last 2, or 3. So 6 to 22, lesson 117. All right, have a great Thursday. Bye.